It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a showcase of shutdown defenses. It's the Broncos and the Raiders, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 22.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So now it's the Raiders' turn to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And I think the ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos.
We gonna shut y'all down.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But when the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jerry Jeudy, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. This is the tight end Fant. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 78 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now Burrow on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. They'll fire one downfield for Fant. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give Fournette another crack. And he stopped immediately there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Third and goal, Burrow. They'll swing this out to Fournette. Touchdown, Broncos. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied here in the second quarter. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They're sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you are here without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Fournette again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now, their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's got him. Now Burrow loses the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Now it's Burrow. He's got his big tight end, Fant, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Draw play, ETN. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, In this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
That's so educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now a quick throw out wide to Ruggs. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big play there for the Raiders. On first down, it's Jacobs. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Here's 2nd and 10. Hurts. Over the middle, complete to Judy. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again. Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right, and he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! Jalen Hurts with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw into the hands of Fan. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First down. Here's Burrow. Going right back to Fant. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. To the air again, Burrow. And it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target. But he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On third down, Burrow. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On first and 10, Joe Burrow. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Burrow on third down. They'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he will have a Broncos first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
And the Broncos first down.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Well, listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin by heading out to Southern California. Kansas City and the LA Chargers in an AFC West matchup. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they trail the visiting Falcons in that one at halftime. The Falcons looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. The Packers trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Broncos in that first half. And in a tie ball game, they've got to be asking themselves, what can we do to get this passing game on track for the second half to come? Meanwhile, for the Raiders, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks. As always, this one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he returns this to the 22. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jacobs now pushes him over. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On second down now, it's Jacobs shouting through the defense. And a great move again. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 66 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. They go play action with Hurts. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Hurts throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play there for the Raiders. He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal. Now that carry just did something significant as well. It pushed him past Jerome Bettis on the NFL all-time rushing list. The bus had 13,662.
And not every carry you get in the NFL is going to be open field, right?
And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. The thing that they'll be looking at is the spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sideline to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You Don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Now they go play action now. Burrow. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Raiders are going to have it here just past the 25.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No one was decide to do now. Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Play action. Here's Hurts. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They go with Jacobs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Burrow on play action. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go play action with Burrow. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He'll drop this one off with ETN. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Now Burrow on first down. And that'll be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Burrow. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Running out of the gun with ETN. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. A shotgun snap and again the ETN. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have broken the tie. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. A first down run with Jacobs won't get a whole lot, maybe a yard, but that's about all, and it's 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. On 2nd and 9, Burrow. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run with ETN. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as he gets this to the Raiders' 44. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised him and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Broncos have just about sewn up this football game. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know, they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. And he's going to have a Broncos 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And they will take a knee here. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You're wondering, could it happen?